President Trump says he'll decide within 2 weeks whether or not to launch military strikes in Iran.
This comes after a week of Israel and Iran exchanging missile attacks. Nuclear talks with Iran are scheduled today in Geneva. ABC's Inestella Katara now with the latest details from Paris.
Good morning. And today in Geneva, Iran's foreign minister will meet with diplomats from across Europe as President Trump indicates the clock is ticking to make a deal.
This morning, as the world waits to see if the U.S. will get pulled into the conflict in the Middle East, President Trump with a new deadline, saying he'll decide within 2 weeks whether to strike Iran. Israel is vowing to dismantle Iran's nuclear program, now threatening to intensify its military campaign after yesterday's Iranian missile strike on a hospital in southern Israel. Sources say President Trump has approved attack plans, adding he's getting comfortable with the idea of the U.S. taking out Iran's underground Fordo nuclear plant. The White House says the decision on whether to strike will come down to whether diplomacy is still on the table. Critics are warning of deja vu, questioning U.S. and Israeli intelligence, drawing comparisons to the lead-up to the war in Iraq in 2003. This past March, National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard told Congress that U.S. intelligence did not believe Iran was actively building a nuclear weapon.
And yet we've got from the president a complete dismissal of that intelligence.
Yesterday, the White House saying
Iran has all that it needs to achieve a nuclear weapon. All they need is a decision from the supreme leader to do that.
A new poll finds 60% of Americans say the U.S. should stay out of the conflict. Sources say a key factor in the timing of Trump's decision is the time needed for additional U.S. military assets to arrive in the region to defend U.S. bases vulnerable to an Iranian attack.
And here in Paris, French President Emmanuel Macron says Europe will push for a negotiated solution to the conflict, but expectations for any breakthrough are low. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Paris.